my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to all listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, you bloody drongo, what are we gonna do today?
Well, I was going to do the bloody same, mate. It's your pick this week, mate. I sound like Smashy Nicey, mate, but let's rock. We're going back to 1986, and this one stars Linda Kozlowski, Mark Blum, Michael Lombard, but more importantly, Dave, Paul Hogan, who wrote the screenplay, which was a rip-off of somebody else that actually happened. And my voice is going South African, Dave, because I don't know anything about doing impressions. But we are going to be doing...
Diplomatic community.
It's just been evoked. We are going back, David, to 1986.
Should get cancelled there. Where's that one going?
Yeah, Drongo, let's get it back, Dave, to Australia. Where's Bouncer and Mrs. Mangle? We're going back. We're going to be doing what I do get cancelled. So 1986, this one is Crocodile Dundee, Dave, an absolute pop culture icon. And Helen absolutely was correct in our Discord. Why have we not done this? As it was pointed out by her, it's the only actual bit of dialogue in our intro or outro that we haven't actually done or covered the movie. So you have corrected it because it's your pick. So Dave, this was a massive movie of the 80s. Do you remember where you first watched this one?
I mean, this was definitely at home on the video, and I tell you what, Chris, absolutely loved it. I was just, I'd never seen anything like this before. This was, way before Steve Irwin came on the screens or anything. So the idea of this almost jungle man, I mean, Paul Hogan, I don't know, what are you going to do? I'd watched things like Tarzan and that, so again, not exactly the best representation of what jungle life is like, but watching this, I just absolutely loved it. And I think I said at the time, Paul Hogan, I just remember being on everything, he's just on all these different adverts and sketch shows and things. One that always sticks in my mind is like he's in the pub. I'm sure he's advertising, it's either Foster's or Castlemaine Forex or something. And you've got a yuppie in there. And he's like, oh my God, my stocks have just gone down 20 pence. And he just puts a 20p on the bar. He goes, no worries. I don't know why. It just always sticks in my mind, that one. But he was always on adverts like that. And this film's just very much like that. It's just like a sketch show where you've got all these little vignettes, these little funny things that happen, and they just glue them all together and make a movie out of it. But, I mean, this has been on my list for ages, and I always keep, passing over it to do something else. And then, yeah, after it was pointed out, it's the only thing in our outro that we've not actually done. So, I thought I had to remedy that. But I just, why did I let it go so long? Just this film brought me so much joy. How about yourself, Chris?
Yeah, I think I'm exactly the same. I do actually remember watching it when it first came out on the BBC, Dave. I don't know whether, because it came out in 86, and it was a huge movie. I mean, budget, 8 million, over 300 million at the box office, which is ridiculous. Absolutely. It was a massive movie in the UK. And I remember, again, you're just looking and researching a little bits before we do the podcast, but there was the top 4 movies ever to show on UK terrestrial TV, Dave. And it's the biggest movie ever for audience to be shown on the BBC ever. 21 million when it was first shown in 1989. The only other 3 movies that come close were all James Bond movies, and they were on ITV. So, I didn't realise, but it was a huge movie. I mean, Nana had it on record. We used to record it. It was just on a level, I think. And like you say, Paul Hogan from nowhere. And I always remember at the time thinking, he's fucking well old, him. But just, Dave, you know what I'm going to say to you? You know how old he was when he filmed this?
Oh, no.
Same age as me.
I usually do this.
Same age as me. He was 47. He was born in, he's still alive, 1939. So he's 86. And he was 47 when he filmed it, exactly the same age as me. And I'm like, what the fuck? I do not look that old. I had a paper round and I never got asked for ID when I went into Manchester, even at 15. But that was probably because of my height more than anything. But he looks about 60 in this, doesn't he? He's got a good 10 years on me at least, but he looks well old in this. I can't believe. And then I'm thinking, am I that fucking wrinkled at 47? Because it's unbelievable that he's only 47 in this. But yeah, a massive movie. Loved it as a kid. Watched it. I mean, I've watched the second one was okay. I think it really gets slated, the second one. And then there's the one from 2001, Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. It's like, you should have given it up. The first one was the iconic one. This isn't a Chris Phelps special where they go, the sequel was better than the first. It wasn't. It was not at all. The first one was like the pinnacle of it. And like Paul Hogan he ended up getting a few movies off the back of it, didn't he? That were pretty shit. There's an Angel one I remember watching because he was in it, renting it, thinking, right, I'll watch that. Yeah, he had a renaissance, didn't he? Because he says we were talking about it off podcast and how I mentioned last week how he was worked in Sydney Bridge and all that. He's actually painted it and repaired it and stuff as a job. That's what he did. And then he ended up on New Faces, Dave, which I've mentioned before. My godfather, who lives in Australia, he went over there in the mid-80s. I've mentioned it before. He won I Am the Music Man, the same show, about 85. He won it, my Uncle David. So he did the business on the same show, but Paul Hogan went on that in 71, and that's how he became a bit of a household name. But I do remember him doing the Foster's adverts, Dave.
Yeah.
But iconic, such an iconic and special movie when we were younger.
Oh, absolutely. You say about how wrinkly he is. I mean, he's got decent guns there.
Oh yeah, he's got a good body.
Keeps himself in good shape. And I must admit, although it's 4.9 on IMDb, but I kind of want to watch Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it.
Awful.
I've never seen it.
But yeah, Almost an Angel. That was the other one that he did, wasn't it?
That was it. Yeah, I've seen that one before. It's fucking terrible as well. It's a terrible movie. But yeah, I'm so pleased that you've picked this, Dave. I know it was more a suggestion from Helen, but I'm so pleased Helen has picked it. I think then said why have we not done it? And he's like, yeah, why haven't we? Because I thought we'd done it. I was like, I'm sure we've done it, but no. Unbelievable. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And because I know what's coming in the trailer, Dave, so I'm ready for the trailer this time.
Well, on that bombshell, let's go.
Let's go.
In the wild Australian outback, where danger lurks behind every bush.
And every bloke's wrestled a croc before brekkie, mate.
Meet Mick Dundee, hunter, tracker, national icon.
Struth the crows, as Alf Stewart would say. This bloke's so Aussie, he's probably believes. He does what he says.
He says stone the crows or struth.
I'm sure it's Struth the crows, Dave. I don't know. Maybe he says stone the crows. I used to watch Home and Away up to
Stone the crows, the saying.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it. Anyways, Struth the crows. This bloke's so Aussie, he probably bleeds VB and sunscreen. He's cockney. Carry on.
Geezer.
Raised in the wilderness, surviving crocodiles, snakes, and the harshness of nature itself.
Yeah, no. Chuck him in the bush with a stubby and he'll be right as rain. Convict man dying.
Fucking Ray Winston.
He was in it as a cameo, Dave, I think.
But now, Mick faces his greatest challenge yet. New York City.
Crikey, one look at Manhattan and old Mick's asking where the nearest servo is.
Criminals will fear him. Women will adore him.
Fair dinkum. The bloke wanders around New York like he owns it after 16s.
armed with only his instincts and one very large knife.
That's not a knife, mate. That's a full-blown health and safety incident.
From the Australian outback to the streets of Manhattan,
Comes the almost fish out of water yarn, you flaming galahs.
Crocodile Dundee.
A ripper of a movie where being confident flicks is literally everything.
This summer,
Can't wait to edit this one. Grab a cold one, avoid the drop bears, and don't ask me to do this accent again, Dave.
Sue Charlton, a New York feature writer, travels to the remote Australian outback to meet Michael J. Crocodile Dundee, a bushman rumoured to have survived a brutal crocodile attack and clawed hundreds of kilometres to safety. In Walkabout Creek, Sue finds the legend very much alive, both legs intact, and one impressive scar, and a grin that suggests the crocodile got the worst end of the deal. But when city hunters accuse Mick of poaching, he proves the myth has teeth, dropping their leader with a single punch. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
You know what? Absolutely iconic movie, but I don't know. I must have had some sort of rose-tinted glasses on, because when you watch it now, there's not a lot of substance to this movie for me, Dave. Like, you're in Australia for too long. They build it up like he's in New York. I was purposely looking at the time, and it gets to 43 minutes, and the movie runs at an hour and 37. So we're literally halfway through, and you get all this Australian stuff, like the bar scene at the start. You know, I forgot how quickly it gets in. So he's like, yeah, I've got this guy and he's crocodile, and he does this, he does tours and blah, blah, blah. And then the next minute she's in that bar. And I don't know why, but I always felt the bar scene was like hysterical. I watch it now and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty shit, really, isn't it? And Mick comes in with his rubber fucking crocodile, even though it's supposed to be a real one. I don't know. I haven't watched it for a long time. It must be about 20 years. But I don't think this one's aged very well at all, Dave. It's an iconic movie. And obviously, you know, That's Not a Knife is a fucking great scene, and there's a couple of scenes that I still love and watch it. It's not a terrible movie, but I find the bits in Australia just boring, and I don't feel that there's any actual story to the movie, if that makes sense.
I do agree with that. There isn't really a story. There's no growth from any of the characters at all, and it's just, I guess, a collection of sketches put together. So I had a feeling this one might not age wonderfully, but I can't be objective about it either. I just think it's so iconic, and it just takes me back to that time. I mean, it was probably another year or two after this before I started to get into Neighbours, and then a little bit after that getting into Home and Away. But it was just such an interesting world to be exposed to. But yeah, looking back now, I mean, the bar scene, it's not really funny, is it?
No.
You know, he's got the rubber crocodile. He's like, oh, can you have a beer? One for me and one for my mate. And I'm just like, is that funny then? But I don't know. It's just for all the, again, the little sketches I find funny. I like how he's basically trying to be Bear Grylls, isn't he? You know, he's trying to show how sort of manly, I guess, he is to Sue the reporter. And another bit I do remember is where he's just having a little shave in the morning, and then Sue gets up and she's walking, and he sort of gets rid of the razor. Sorry, you made me. I've lost my voice because of that Cockney Ray Winston Aussie accent you were doing before. It's done me in. But yeah, he gets his big Rambo knife out and starts pretending that he really shaves with that. And again, that's just what it reminds me of, almost those Foster's adverts. Like, that's all you'd need for that advert, probably. And then that's it. That's the sort of funny little bit. And then you're on to the next scene. And so, yeah, in terms of a pure movie with a story and substance and character growth and everything, it doesn't really stand up, but I still absolutely love it all the same.
Yeah, I don't think I'm far away. I think I'm the same. I watch. I mean, let's be honest, Dave. I've got a fucking call out Sue here, Linda. You know, who ends up being Paul Hogan's wife then as well, because they get together off the back of this movie, don't they? So, she just cheats on her fucking partner, doesn't she? Really, and for some reason,
there's no real reason.
That's what I mean.
They don't cheat on him.
Exactly. It's not like we get that a partner's a dick or he treats her poorly or he's a really nice guy. He's dead respectful. He asks her dad for his hand in marriage. He proposes to her lovely, gives a lovely ring. And there's fucking Sue having a bit with Mick in fucking, you know, the old Outback Dave. Well, okay, she's just nearly died. I can sort of past that. She full on snogs him. I noticed Paul Hogan got a real good feel of her fucking arse as well, Dave, when they were snogging as he panned out. And there isn't any reason to be like that. And what's really strange in the movie, and I don't want to jump too far, but when she meets her dad, and then they've just proposed to her, Annie, the guy, what's he called? Is it Walter, the guy she's with? And not Walter. What's her partner called, Dave, in this? Is it Richard? It's Richard, isn't it?
Richard. Scroll.
No, it's Richard. It's Richard. And
go with that.
Mark Blum. But what's really strange is the dad in the next scene. He's like, "Go and get him. Is this what you want to do?" Yeah, we don't even know what discussions he's had with her dad, and he was all up for fucking marrying the other guy about 5 minutes ago. So I've got problems with Sue. I think she's just taking the piss here out of fucking poor Richard. He done nothing wrong, but he's getting absolutely cheated on left, right, and centre. And I can understand it, but also, Dave, as you say, you can't be subjected on it. I'm not being funny. I have, as a kid, rewound that bit with the crocodile. I don't know how many times. Let's fucking be honest here, Dave. I remember
not for the crocodile, clearly, but yeah.
Dave. I remember as a kid that being one of the most sexiest things I'd ever seen as a kid. Not like she was going to get a neck fucking, eaten or anything, but just that whole bit was just something else. I remember thinking, this is unbelievable, because I was only like 11 or whatever it was when I watched it, 10, 11. So yeah, she's a very, very good looking lady.
Yeah, I mean, not the most practical attire for the bush,
no.
I thought, but it sort of worked well for the scene, I guess, for the young males that were around that time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the young Chris's of our time, Dave. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just strange. Not strange, but I don't know. It hit things probably I didn't know were happening at that time, Dave. But I remember that scene so well. But yeah,
just an awakening.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's a bit slow. The Aussie stuff I'm not really interested in, and I thought he was in Australia for 20 minutes, and the next minute he ends up in America. And I can see why they've done it for the story, but I feel as if it's just more interesting in New York when they're going in the outback. The crocodile bit should have been the end. We didn't need to see the next 10 minutes. It's just like, get over to Australia, get over to New York now. We've seen all that. I don't know. They seem to flesh out the wrong part of the movie. The New York stuff needed a bit more of the comedy and some of the gags, because that's all wrapped up in about half an hour, realistically.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? When I say with a lot of the movies that we go back to watch, like some of them, most of the movie is not great, and then you just remember these specific bits, like, talked about Ferris Bueller a while ago, didn't we? And it's really not good, and he's a terrible person. I think for this one, it was such a surprise hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all made in Australia. They knew they wanted someone American to be in the movie so it would appeal to American audiences. And it just ended up being this massive worldwide hit. So I don't think they ever really thought that it was going to be as big as that. So maybe if they did, they might have leaned into the New York stuff a bit more. But I think they also wanted to set him up as a character. So, I mean, I love the fact that Paul Hogan, he's saying, he lives in Sydney, so he lives in a city, so he's nothing like actual Crocodile Dundee, but this is kind of what Americans think Australians are like, so let's give them what they want. And so I think he did want to spend a bit of time with this kind of jungle man persona to build it up and set him up so that really it hits home that when he gets into New York, he's this proper fish out of water.
Yeah, I get that, but obviously they sort of play him a bit comedy as well, don't they? Like he's sort of he is, when they're saying you're just a blagger and stuff, and people say he is like this tough Aussie, isn't he? And he lives by a different code to most people because they live out there. It's the outback. I've been to the outback. I wasn't there a few days, but it was a very interesting place, brilliant place, like the Ayers Rock and stuff like that. And obviously the walkabout, I'm going walkabout. That's all stuff because of Crocodile Dundee. Nobody knew what that was. It was basically, I'm just leaving. I'm taking my stuff and fucking off across Australia. That was like a common thing in the 80s, especially like Neighbours and that coming. Obviously, there wasn't many Neighbours were walkabout. Well, I think Crocodile Dundee brought that whole thing up. What's walkabout mean? And that's what it was. It was just like, yeah, I'm going off. I'm going to go and have a time of my life, discover myself. But yeah, you're probably right the way they're doing it. But I just feel that, I don't know, I just wanted more, I think, of the New York stuff. And in my mind, he's only there, like I say, he's there for a short amount of time in Australia, and then she gets him over to America. By the time he gets to America, I wasn't checked out, but I was like, thank God we're in New York. I love the nostalgia. It shows the Twin Towers to start with, and then it shows him. There's a few bits. One of the bits that is funny is when he fucking pulls up in the limo, and he's sat in the front, and it's fucking Sergeant Al Powell, by the way, Dave, the old legend. He's in there again. It's just this is a couple of years before he saves John McClane with his Twinkies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's a few years there. But thing is when them two guys are talking, and fucking he's called Gus in the limo driver, Reginald Vell Johnson, who plays him, and he's going, yeah, there's 7 million people in New York, and he's like, 7 million, I must all get on and everything. And he pulls up a set of lights, and there's just two people having a chat. He goes, "G'day, Mick Dundee from Australia," and he's like, yeah, maybe I'll see you around. And I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Totally oblivious, because he's like, yeah, they'll probably see you around it. But I do like that, and there's a couple of silly bits, like when he's having a smoke and he puts it in his hat, and you can see these little bits of practical comedy stuff, because he just doesn't understand where he is, does he? It's like it's completely like going on a plane. They play that up a little bit because he's never been on a plane, has he? So he's shitting himself. He really is a fish out of water. So I think that when he goes to America, I really enjoy it. And there's some great scenes when they're in America. There really is. It's just so iconic. Like when he meets the two hookers, and he's like, "All right, girls, yeah." And then he chins the fucking pimp, doesn't he? And he's like, "Simone," and all. I just love all that. It's so silly, and it really is silly. But again, it's just iconic, them bits in New York. It's just it's so forgettable, other than the crocodile scene, the Aussie bits. You got the bar fight, the crocodile, and I'm done then. I don't need to see him fucking swimming in a fucking lake or whatever they were doing at one point with like I don't want a drone, but whatever they were doing to film that big shot. I was like, I don't care about that now. Just get to New York for me.
Yeah, like you say, when he meets the two prostitutes, for me, they overshoot how naive he is. But I guess, this is a comedy from 1986. But where she's like, "Oh, we might have to give you one for free." And he's like, "Yeah, one what?" And it sort of makes me laugh. But I'm almost like, you're clearly nearly 50, right? You do know the ways of the world, surely. So, there was that. But Chris, I mean, when we get to New York, and you're saying about the fiance, I guess, with Sue, you're saying he's not that bad. He was a bit of a dick, wasn't he? I don't think
when he had to, yeah.
When he was like showing off and wanted, should I order for everyone? And he was being a bit of a tool. I'm not sure that justifies what Sue did, to be honest, but I think that was supposed to make us think, this guy's a real tool. But even before that, I don't think there was really like a build-up to any chemistry. We've seen so many, I mean, you've seen more than me probably, but the rom-coms and the way it's built up, it happens over a period of time, doesn't it? But where he's in the bath and she brings him a towel in and she's like showing a bit of leg in that, it's like, I don't understand what's got to that point where they can do that playful sort of flirty banter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it works or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure with there's a few bits. I think what I like, Dave, I'll be honest, because they are a real couple, or they were until 2014. They were married for like 30 odd years. Is she is so into him when they're acting. Like you can see she is acting and she's playing the character, but you can clearly see, like, hindsight's a wonderful thing. You can see there is chemistry between them. And I think she really, really idolized Paul Hogan. It was really interesting to see that, knowing that they had a proper relationship after it.
Yeah. I mean, what did you say? He's 1939. She's
47.
1958.
Yeah.
So she'd have been 28.
Well, he did all right, Dave, didn't he?
But when we get to New York, that's where I was going before. You know, we get to that iconic scene, and again, you just have to, as soon as it happens, when he's going to get held up with the knife, regardless of what I thought before in the film, it just gets to that moment, and I'm just waiting. Go on, say the line. And so I must admit, I watched it a couple of times to go back and I just love it. The comedy timing, and it's just part of pop culture now, isn't it? It's just there. You say to anyone in our generation, "That's not a knife. That's a knife."
Yeah, exactly.
It is just so iconic, and like so many of the funny bits in this, I just feel like all of them could be plucked out of a beer commercial and just plonked into, that's a knife. Now, would you like a Foster's? It just everything is like this really quick sort of payoff. But yeah, I mean, how did you feel going back and watching that scene again?
I love it. I love that scene so much. And then it's even when he does the guy with the knife, and he's like, it's just kids playing around. But then you can see the serious side. He's trying to play it up as a joke. It's like, you okay? It's sort of like that. Like he knows he's not. He plays the character of Mick Dundee, doesn't he? And it's like, I don't give a shit, but you can clearly see he does give a shit. I mean, the idea of the film really is it's a love story. But I feel, as much as I'm saying about Linda Kozlowski, like into him, I feel that Paul Hogan plays it a little bit too cool. It sounds silly because they're obviously together, and they got together when they were filming it. I don't know what their relationship status was before the movie or when they were filming it, but obviously they were like quite a big couple. He was quite a big thing at the time, but he's into her, and there's the little looks here and there, into where she looks at him, and then there's a couple of times, like after that bit with the knife, she's like, I always feel safe for you, Mick Dundee, and all this sort of thing. I think that's what's interesting about like the dynamic of the film, but I just feel that, I don't know, it just doesn't. They do the kiss, like I say, and he gets a good feel of her pretty much after this and all that, and you can see like they pan out to it, and then the next minute she's getting proposed to, because they have this like Sue's return to New York meal, and then Richard proposes to her. And like I said before, her dad's so well up for it. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Welcome to the family, son. You want a cigar? And then the next scene, he's dropping her off at the fucking hotel so she can get with Mick. And obviously, I mean, there's that scene in there where after this, Mick's a little bit jealous, he's a little bit down, and he goes to get a drink, and he of all the places in New York, he bumps into two other hookers who are not the same Simone. He says Simone realizes the same pimp comes with the same outfit. He gets chinned. Yeah. Then two blokes set about Mick and give him a bit of a kick in, and then fucking Al Powell days comes from nowhere. Good old Gus, just the old boomerang on the back of the fucking limo, and just takes that guy out for no reason, because it's not like he's a cop. The guy's run away. You don't need to chase him. But he decides, fuck that, I'm going to get him anyway. And that's when he said, I mean, I'm not going to say it, but there's a few things in this movie that are of its time, aren't they? Like, I don't think you would get it. And it's interesting because we talked about this off the podcast, that I watched the version of Crocodile Dundee where the trans lady speaks to him in the bar, and that guy's like, it's a bloke, and he goes and basically touches her genitalia, Dave, and then the next scene a bit later is he gets the old woman and does the same. But there is versions out there where they cut quite a lot of that out, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's
so it was done in January 2025, and it's called the Encore Cut. And I'm not sure if it's driven by Paramount, but I watched it on like Amazon Prime, but the little Paramount Plus add-on that you get on it as well. And that was all taken out. And there's two different camps. You shouldn't mess around with it at all, or I guess they're trying to modernize it for more sensitive audiences, I guess. But yeah, I was surprised that was gone.
Yeah, I mean, it is of its time, and I get it, but I don't think that's, Dave, I'm not being funny, but that's the least offensive thing that's in the movie. There's more offensive things that they keep in, so I find that bizarre. But you're taking away the DNA of the movie then, aren't you? So you either play the movie in its entirety. I know they do it with Fools and Horses now, where they play it and they'll play the episode and before you get a disclaimer now saying this is of its time, because there is a few things of its time, early 80s, especially with the Asian community, where Del Boy says things that was acceptable then, and it's not acceptable now, but it was then as like humour.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty much, it's on the verge of racism, really. It is racism. So I get that. So if you're going to play a movie like this, and it's never shown on UK TV anymore, is it? Despite how big it is, you never see it. You'll see, I mean, I love Back to the Future, but Back to the Future's on a fucking loop. Fast and Furious, James Bond, they've all been on loops on our TV since we were kids. Star Wars was for one, Star Wars isn't now, but it was as kids. And then Crocodile Dundee was always Christmas. Oh, it's Crocodile Dundee's on Christmas Eve, or it's on in between Christmas. It's not a Christmas film, but it was always there. BBC Radio, the Radio Times, everything. I remember watching it so many times as a kid. So it's a shame when they do that, because I think you lose the essence of the movie. But obviously, on a younger generation, it will get lost in. I'm not saying it's right, but it will get lost on what the context of the character is of Mick. If you cut everything out, he basically saves her from a crocodile, goes to New York, pulls a knife out, and then fucking he falls in love. What's the fuck? Yeah, exactly. What's the fucking point?
But yeah, I mean, just going back to Gus, though. I mean, I like to think that Gus found his calling at that point, changed his name, and then just went to do his thing at the Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, yes, definitely Sergeant Al Powell for me, Dave. I don't care what anyone says. But also, the end bit gets me, and it's still funny. That whole scene is, again, like I say, she's just agreed. Well, she didn't agree anything, but Richard kissed, then she kissed him back. It wasn't like she turned away. She gave him a bit of a smoochy kiss. He takes the engagement ring, and like I say, her dad pulls up, you go and get him, kid. And the Mick's just done a walkabout, which I find weird, because he's been with Gus. He leaves the knife in the back seat. That's one of the reasons he ends up getting a bit of a kicking, because he goes to pull his knife off. But she's got his knife in a completely different limousine. But why didn't Mick take it after Gus had saved him? So I don't understand that. Well, that's the premise of it going to the hotel. And then the next minute, we get this. He walks off, and that guy's trying to talk Aussie to him, and he does good aim thing, which is fucking cringe as fuck, I've got to say. And Paul Hogan does it. And we get that scene, which for some reason, as a kid, I thought that scene was amazing. And it's still good seeing that in the subway. And it's like, hey, you, the guy in the, and it's like the two guys there, the guy in the black hat. And he's like, tell him she wants to say, and he goes backwards and forwards. It's a great scene, but what really took me out, Dave, more than anything, and it is a good scene and it's fun, is how everybody in the fucking subway is going fucking mental, because when they're talking, it's not like anyone else is looking at these people, these two guys, what's going on. They're looking straight at the to get on the train. Next minute, they're having a fucking party. But it's the way he walks across everyone's heads in them fucking boots, Dave. I'm not being funny. That would hurt. Them fucking boots he's got on. But it's that whole thing that he meets her, he kisses her. That's the end of the film. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. This is bullshit. That ending bit, when I watch it now, is fucking rubbish for me. That is just so poor. I'm not being funny. No. It's rubbish.
So, honestly, you're going too hard now. So I remember as a kid, I just saw this as a straight up comedy. But when you watch it now, you're like, okay, this is a rom-com. just happens to have, this interesting character, Mick Dundee. But I think that scene at the end is just pure rom-com, isn't it? So they're about to part ways. You've got 5 minutes left in the movie, and you're like, the fuck's going on? And like you say, all the extras are just looking straight forward. Because if anyone was shouting, everyone would be looking across. Who the fuck's that? And if he's standing on your head, it's like, fuck off, you swag, get off. What are you doing? But I at this point, I think that end scene, I'm just fully bought into the rom-com. And I just thought, you say about it ending abruptly, but again, a lot of these older movies do, don't they? So Rocky 76 finishes at the end of the first one, finishes the fight. That's it. Fucking roll credits. What the fuck's going on there? And still, it catches me out every time I watch it. But I think it, for all its faults, I thought the end was pretty perfect, and it sort of almost it leaves you wanting more, doesn't it? It leaves you wanting, well, what the fuck happens now?
Yeah.
Now, leading up to that scene, though, I think the criticism's still definitely valid, where you're saying, well, where did that come from? They haven't really built up this tension, or he's not kind of taught her certain lessons that she's been able to change the way she looks at life in New York and stuff like that. It's all just these little scenes that are collected together. And so, yeah, I do think the story is paper thin, but yeah, I can't be having that last scene.
Well, I'll tell you now. You know what? I love some of the trivia on this, though. Did you see In Excess all invested in this movie as a tax fucking loop, thinking it'd make nothing because they had to get rid of some money? So they actually bankrolled part of the movie and was one of the fucking contributors to get the movie commissioned and stuff. And then they made fucking millions, Dave. It was supposed to be a tax fucking fiddle, and the end up Michael Hutchins in that just made loads of money. They put it in because it was an easy way to sort of write off the tax on something, because you'd like do sort of art, movie type projects. I find that fascinating, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. But no, listen, it's still iconic, that scene. I enjoyed it, but I don't know. It's just weird. And fucking Sue, the way she's running down the street like Linford Christie, is fucking nonsense, isn't it? Takes the shoes off and just starts legging it. It's. Yeah, I mean, it does go, like you said, rom-com. It does go full rom-com. And to be honest, I suppose you could say it's slightly different, because he's usually the guy coming to like get his lady in it, because he's been this indecision. So maybe it is a bit of role reversal. But either way, it's still an iconic, great movie, Dave. It really is.
Well, you are all over the map on this one, so I'm curious where this is going to go. So should we get into our final review?
Let's go. Dave, can I just say, before we get into the review, I'm pissing myself laughing because Mr. John Hammond, who sent, as we said last week, a Lauren Avedon signed picture, King of the Kickboxers with Billy Blank. I've just realised the address that he sent it to. So he's got my address on. It's got Christian Phelps, Dave. But underneath, he's got a business name of Shoulder Injuries Are Us. And I didn't realise this. How dare you, John Hammond? How dare you, my friend? I just seen it on the corner of my house, like, what the fuck's that? Shoulder? I just see shoulder, and I'm like, oh, he's fucking done me. So Shoulder Injuries Are Us, Mr. Hammond. Thank you for that. Unbelievable. But anyway, I'm glad this has been picked. I'm glad we can chalk it off the list, Dave, of all of the films we've done, and we can finally say we've done every single voice that's attached to the intro and outro. I don't know where to put this. I think I'm going to put it, Dave, in Hill Valley. It's still a great movie. It's a bit slow in the bits, but once he gets to New York, I love it. I just love the silliness of Mick Dundee, and I just love the fact that he's just like, he does play it well, a duck out of water, but there's just Sue, he's not a good person, Dave. And I think she's not a good person. I'm not having it. So Mick's just been.
Did you just say a duck out of water?
Something like that, yeah.
A fish
They
out
do
of
fly.
water.
They
The
do
duck's
fly.
fucking pretty happy out of water.
Hey, mate, we'll have less of that, right?
Fucking hell, be careful. That duck's out of water. So, somebody save it quick.
It looks like he's flying.
Fucking hell, what's happened there? The fucking duck's out of water. I don't know. Crazy, isn't it?
Dave, I speak from the heart, from shoulders to us towers. Fuck you. All right. I'll listen back to that and be like, you
That's
dickhead.
going to kill me for the rest of the day, that is.
Idiot.
Oh, my
Fucking
word.
idiot. Right. Not you. I'm an idiot. But anyway, let's just move on. So it's going to be Hill Valley. It's still a great movie. It's still iconic. And pop culture references all over the place. That's Not a Knife is still one of the greatest lines in the movie, Dave. I absolutely love it. So, no, top pick. I really enjoyed it. But, yeah, it's just a little bit slow for me. And I don't think it's aged as well as I thought it would. So, Dave, go on. Let's hear it.
You know what? After all that meandering, kind of all over the map discussion, I'm actually not that far away from you at all. I really struggle to be objective about this. But if I try to be objective for a second, this actually is not a great movie at all. It is a collection of scenes. The story to it is not really. There is no story really. They're just in Australia for a bit, and then they're in New York for a bit. The character growth, no one really changes at all. Like basically, they just a couple of people meet and then they get together. But I just got such a warmness for all of the different little sketches that I do enjoy. Right up there is That's Not a Knife. So I just, for that, it brings it up for me. But if I think if I showed this to the kids, they'd be like, what's this?
Yeah.
This isn't funny at all. Like, it's brilliant. Look at it. So, yeah, I do think it's very much of its time, but I'm still glad that we went back and watched it. So, yeah, Hill Valley from me as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, Dave, it's a Patreon pick next week, and it's a movie I've never heard of.
So this one, this is bizarre because I'm not sure if I've seen it or not. It's very familiar, but it didn't ring any bells. But this one, Chris, is produced by John Hughes, written and directed by Chris Columbus, starring Macaulay Culkin, Ali Sheedy, and headlining John Candy. This one, Chris, is from 1991, and it's called Only the Lonely. Now let's get into the trailer.
I hope it's got the music Only the Lonely, Dave.
For YouTube, I hope it's not.
Try 9, Dan.
Jim Belushi.
Jim
The
Belushi is
husband to be.
I'm not carrying this guy down 6 flights of stairs. I'll tell you that right now.
Ain't no way I'm gonna clean that up. Sometimes it is not good to be a cop.
The bride to be.
Did you mean him to look like Clark Gable? Yeah. He's a dead ringer. I didn't mean dead like that. I don't mean dead. You know what I meant.
He's got a girl.
The mother who won't let it be.
Who died and left you an opinion?
Rose, I know you realize it's the 90s. I'm just not sure you realize it's the 1990s.
Reasons why you can't go out with me on Saturday. You've seen somebody else.
No.
You gotta leave your options open, Danny. You're getting your legs waxed.
No.
Sample some of the other flavors. You have to lube your car?
No.
I'll see you at 7. I hope you don't mind coming here. I wanted to bring you somewhere special on our first date.
For Danny Muldoon and Teresa Luna, love is in the air.
Yeah, I just got lucky in there with a girl. That's not what you're thinking. She does everybody in there. Not in that way.
Daddy?
Oh my God, it's my mom. Come on, hurry up. Over there.
And mother is in between.
Mom, promise me you'll be on your best behavior.
Where are her breasts?
What?
She's got no breasts.
Well, it's just in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd drop by.
But before they can tie the knot,
Daddy! I'll be down in a minute and make you some breakfast.
Oh, that'll be nice.
he has to untie the apron strings.
I'm 38 years old. I don't need this.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
John Candy.
I haven't kissed a girl I wasn't related to in a long time.
Ali Sheedy.
Are we ever going to be alone?
Maureen O'Hara.
You haven't heard my side of the story.
James Belushi.
She's just playing hard to get.
And Anthony Quinn.
She's been hard to get for 20 years. That's really hard to get.
Only the Lonely. From John Hughes and Chris Columbus comes a comedy for anyone who's ever had a mother.
Not sure about this one, Dave. That was the reason I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I'm slightly worried now. I mean, what a cast. And the fact that it's not really held up. Although, not that it's not held up, we have to watch it first, but it's not really held up with the likes of Home Alone, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, all those great films with all those great sort of actors and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go. So yeah, it might be a little bit of a gem that Justin's picked there, or might be a bit of a stitch up. Who knows? I mean,
the stitch up. Come on.
The pleasure might be all of the cast, and the pain might be the movie. But I think there's enough in that trailer. It's not the world's best trailer, but we'll see. We'll see next week.
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be something different anyway. So thanks, Justin, for that, mate. If you want to email us, the VHSStrikesback@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media at VHSStrikesback. As always, if you do want to support us, please get over to patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. So the roll call of honour, a big thank you to Graham, Myvie, Reese, Nick, Greg, Gareth, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dylan, Spider Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt, Hales, Kent, Looking at the Green, Herbs, Jack, Matt Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. So there was about 4 outtakes there. We don't need to hear them, Dave. But thank you so much, everyone, for all your support. We do appreciate it. Very, very kind of you guys. And yeah, looking forward to next week now, Dave. So what have we got musically? After that masterclass of 80s poodle rock I pulled out last week, Dave, what have you got for us?
I was going to say, you graced us with some great mid-80s hair metal or hair rock stuff last week, so did quite enjoy that. For this week, Chris, though, I've gone, again, mid-80s, and I'm thinking Top of the Pops. I'm thinking sing-along, party fun, something like a bit of Black Lace, right there on Top of the Pops. You've got Paul Hogan, so a bit like Romance in the Stone or When the Going Gets Tough or something like that, where you've got the actor actually in the music video and everything. So this is just pure 80s pop fun. So, I mean, I had to go for it. The one iconic scene and iconic line that just lives on relentlessly in pop culture. So this one is called That's Not a Knife.
It's the boss something to do with Stu, Dave.
Didn't break a sweat. Stone the crows, biggest one yet. Campfire crackling, Billy on boil. Drongo got lost, couldn't handle the soil. Tracking and hunting from morning till night. Flat out like a lizard, drinking, living it right. That's not a knife, not a knife. That's a knife, that's a knife. He don't bluff, he don't think twice. Struth, mates, that ain't a knife.
All the Aussies slang in there.
Yeah, love it.
Landed in New York, what a mad sort of place. Building so tall, can't see the sky's face. Struth, all these taxis keep a honking at me. Stone the crows, what a place to be. 10 quid for beer, now that's a crime. Back home that'd get you a crate in some time. Everyone rushing, no end in sight. Flat out like a lizard, drinking but not doing it right. That's not a knife, not a knife. That's a knife, that's a knife. He don't bluff, he don't think twice. Struth, mate, hey, that ain't a knife. Oh, that's not a knife, not a chasing me way, says hand it all over, yeah, right, not today. Pulled out a blade, thought he'd give me a fright. I said, stone the crows, that's a butter knife, right?
Choose the crows.
Big knives just cutting me bread. You picked the wrong Aussie, that's what I said. Crowds gathering round, tension is rife. That's not a knife, not a knife. That's a knife, that's a knife. He don't bluff, he don't think twice. Struth, mate, hey, that ain't a knife.
You can just imagine the callbacks from the crowd.
You love it.
She likes the city, I like the wild. Says I'm a savage, I say just a child. Don't get brunch or kale on a plate, but she laughs at me, says I'm first rate. From the bush to the lights, what a turn in me life. Still wrecking, most things get solved with a knife. Whether it's trouble or daily strife. That's not a knife, not a knife, not a knife, not a knife. That's a knife, that's a knife, that's a knife, that's not a knife. Hey, hey, not a knife, that's a knife. Oi, that's a knife. Let out like a lizard, drink it, drink it. Everybody shout it, stop and think it, think it, think it, think it. Oh, that's not a knife, not a knife. That's 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 a knife.
Good one, this, Dave.
That's a knife.
So yeah,
I like that.
I just couldn't stop thinking about, you know, sort of having that banter between, or maybe banter's not the right word, but you know, the classic black grape thing, black grape, fucking
I could do
black
that.
lace.
Oh yeah, that's it. Black Grape's Sean Ryder, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, black lace. You know, that's not a knife, and then go into the crowd. That's a knife. You could get everyone singing along there in Benidorm. But anyway, mate, that was a brilliant chat today. I'm so glad that we went back to this one. And again, even though the film doesn't stand up brilliantly, it's still got a lot of joy from it as well. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back.
That's not. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right. Ding, ding.
Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on. Ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid fool. Maybe you crazy. I ain't breathing heavy. He's a fool. He's stupid. I seen you at 6 I must break